Have you ever said yes to something you really wanted to say no to? Maybe it was an extra project at work, a social event you didn't have the energy for, or a favor for a friend that completely derailed your week. If you've ever found yourself stretched thin, overwhelmed, and maybe even a little resentful, you're not alone. The culprit is often a tiny, two-letter word we find incredibly difficult to use. No. Today, we're going to dive into the art of saying no, and why it is one of the most powerful skills you can develop for a happier, more productive, and more authentic life. Let's get one major misconception out of the way right from the start. Saying no is not selfish. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Saying no is not selfish. It is a profound act of It's a declaration that your time, your energy, and your well-being are valuable. Think of your energy as a finite resource, like a battery. Every time you say yes to something, you're spending a piece of that battery. If you say yes to everything, you'll find yourself completely drained, with nothing left for the things and people that truly matter to you. Learning to say no is about becoming a responsible manager of your own personal energy. This brings us to a crucial point: protecting your mental space. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, requests, and obligations. When we fail to say no, we open the floodgates to unnecessary commitments that clutter our mental landscape. This mental clutter makes it hard to think clearly, to be creative, and to simply be present. Saying no to a non-essential task is like decluttering a room. Suddenly, you have more space. You can breathe easier. You can see what's truly important and give it the attention it deserves. It's about curating your life, not just accumulating obligations. One of the most immediate benefits of saying no is the ability to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines we draw around ourselves to protect our emotional and mental health. They communicate to others what we are and are not okay with. When you consistently say yes to things that cross your boundaries, like working late every night or always being the one to solve everyone else's problems, you inadvertently teach people that your time and needs are secondary. By politely but firmly saying no, you're not pushing people away. You're teaching them how to treat you with respect. You're showing them where your limits are, which ultimately leads to healthier, more honest relationships. Have you ever felt like you're on a treadmill, running faster and faster but getting nowhere? That feeling is often a direct precursor to burnout. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged or excessive stress. It happens when we feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. A primary driver of burnout is taking on too much. We agree to unrealistic deadlines. We pile on extra responsibilities, and we try to be everything to everyone. Saying no is your most effective tool against burnout. It allows you to realistically assess your capacity and say, I can't take that on right now. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of self-awareness and a commitment to long-term sustainability. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you start saying no to the things that don't align with your goals, something magical happens. You create space for the things that do. Imagine your life is a garden. If you let every weed grow, your prize-winning roses won't have the nutrients, sunlight, or space to flourish. Saying no is like pulling the weeds. It frees up your resource, your time, energy, and focus to cultivate what you truly want to grow. Whether your priority is starting a business, spending more quality time with family, or learning a new skill, saying no to distractions is how you say a powerful yes to your own dreams. It shifts you from being reactive to other people's agendas to being proactive about your own. This practice also sharpens your decision-making skills. Every time you face a request, you're presented with a choice. Instead of automatically saying yes, learning to pause and ask yourself, does this serve my goals? Do I have the capacity for this? Is this truly important to me? Forces you to be more intentional. You start making choices based on your values and priorities, rather than on a desire to please or a fear of missing out. Over time, this conscious decision-making becomes second nature. You become the architect of your life, deliberately choosing the building blocks that create a structure you love, rather than living in a house built from random materials handed to you by others. Let's talk about confidence. Every time you successfully say no to something that isn't right for you, you build a little bit of confidence. You're learning to trust your own judgment and to advocate for your own needs. It can be scary at first, especially if you're a natural people pleaser. Your voice might shake a little. You might feel a pang of guilt. But with practice, it hits easy. You'll realize that the world doesn't fall apart when you decline a request. In fact, people often respect you more for your honesty and clarity. This newfound confidence will spill over into other areas of your life, empowering you to speak up in meetings, negotiate for what you deserve, and pursue your ambitions with greater conviction. As you get better at setting these boundaries, you'll notice a shift in how others interact with you. People learn how to treat you based on what you accept. If you're always available, always agreeable, and always the one to pick up the slack, some people might unintentionally start to take you for granted. It's not always malicious. They've just learned that you'll always say yes. When you start saying no respectfully, you recalibrate those expectations. You teach others that your time is valuable and your capacity has limits. This reduces the likelihood of being taken advantage of and fosters relationships built on mutual respect, where your contributions are valued but not expected as a given. Ultimately, mastering the art of saying no is a journey of personal growth and independence. It is about moving from a place of external validation where your self-worth is tied to how much you do for others to a place of internal validation where you feel secure in your choices because they are aligned with your authentic self. It encourages mindful living, where you are present and conscious of the choices you make every single day. This isn't about becoming a hermit or refusing to help anyone. It's about finding the beautiful, sustainable balance between being a kind, supportive person to others and being a kind, supportive advocate for yourself. It is about creating a life where you can generously help others without depleting yourself in the process, because you've honored your own needs first. So, the next time you feel that pressure to say yes, I challenge you to pause, take a breath. Ask yourself if it's a true yes from your core. If it's not, try a polite, firm no. You might say, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now." Or "I'd love to help, but my plate is too full at the moment." Start small. The more you practice, the more you'll realize that saying no isn't a rejection of others. It's an acceptance of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content on living a more intentional life. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What's one thing you go in to try saying no to this week? Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.